Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and I have another movie review for everybody out there. This is on a movie called My Boyfriend's Back. This is put out from Mill Creek Entertainment, directed by Bob Belden, and written by Sean Cunningham. And in this movie we have Andrew Lowry, Tracy Lind, Matthew McConaughey, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Matthew Fox, Edward Herrmann, Mary Beth Hurt, and Cloris Leachman. And what this movie is about, it's about this guy named Johnny Dingle, and he's been in love with this girl since he's been really little, for like the last 12 years. And he never got to tell her how he felt and everything. And he decided to like come up with this scam, not a scam, I wouldn't say, this idea to get her to go with him to the prom. And well, his plan backfires, and in the process of it, he ends up getting killed. So he gets killed, and before he dies, he asks her, "Would you go to the prom with me?" And she's like, "Sure," thinking he's not coming back. Well, he comes back. He ends up coming up from the grave, and he's talking to the caretaker there, and he's saying, like, "You can't leave. You're going to be walking around among, the cemetery for the rest of your days." So he's like, "No, I got a date to the prom. I'm not dead." So he leaves, and well, basically he needs, like every zombie, they need to feed on human flesh and that, and the more he eats of human flesh, the more time he has before he finally just, like, his body just shuts down. And so he comes back to school, and everybody's like, "What's going on here?" And it's a horror comedy movie. It's really a ridiculous horror comedy movie, where they point fun at stuff a lot, and it's not like a Naked Gun humor, but it's very toned down from that. The movie came out in 1993, but it kind of has like a 50s kind of feel to it, but it's not based in the 50s, but this town is like a really small town, and there's like the jocks with the Lettermans, and the way they dress in it almost feels like the 50s, but yet there's cars in that look like, more like in the 90s. I'll be honest, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, probably since back then. I didn't really remember it. And so now watching it, it was kind of like, for me, hard to get into at first. Like, I watched it, but it was just like really goofy. And I usually like really goofy movies like that, but it was just a little crazy. But then, I'll tell you what, the ending really won me over. The ending turned into like a totally different type of movie. It was very heartwarming, and it just really touched me, I guess you could say. And so the ending of this movie won me over. So I wasn't going into there, I was like, I don't know if I really like this, but then, like I said, the ending won me over. And it was really cool to see like first time people acting, or at least earlier roles on here. Like Matthew McConaughey has like a super small part, but it's funny because I think that was his first role acting, and it was just a small part. And of course you got Matthew Fox, who more recently was in Bone Tomahawk, but everybody probably knows him from Lost. And then you have Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman in this, and his character is so goofy and like dumb, like he's a dumb person in the movie, and it's just really, like, anybody in this movie, like, you never would have thought that the ways this movie was, that anybody in this movie would have been known nowadays or have gone to be as big a star as they are now. It's really just crazy. And then, of course, you have Edward Herrmann and Cloris Leachman in here, Mary Beth Hurt. I thought the picture looked really nice on this. It's the first time on Blu-ray. The only thing that sucks is that there's no special features on here whatsoever is the word. It's just the standalone movie, but it's not that expensive, and if you're just into the movie and that, yeah, I think a lot of people like this. I thought it was cool that, like, Sean Cunningham was a writer on this movie, and it's so funny. It's like, you got Friday the 13th, My Boyfriend's Back, he's a writer on it. I just saw that name, I was like, what? That's awesome. But it's a decent movie though, like it really is. Like I said, going into it, I had to warm up. The ending won me over. So, if you're into horror comedies, and I'm talking like, this is really a really weird one, like where they acknowledge, like, he comes into school, he comes into class, and she's like, he's like, oh, sorry, I'm dead or something like that. She's like, I could see that, but that's no excuse for tardiness or something like that, she says. And it's like really goofy how they just like kind of don't really acknowledge too much that he's a zombie. They do, but they're like, he's dead. Johnny Dingle's dead. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And then it's just a very strange movie, but it's not that bad. So yeah, that's it. So, you know, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, AMINO, and Facebook. That's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.